Hi, I'm Chris and we are JCD. In this week's episode, we literally saved Christmas with a block drain at a Christmas market. We're on site today at a school, putting right a blocked calibration hose from another contractor, and we go to a failed pump set that is at risk of flooding a golf course. Let's roll the footage. Good morning. It's Monday. We are over in Godstone. Looked at this job about a week or so ago. School, they're doing some major refurbishment works here, and we have got to make sure that all the drainage is okay. There's a few bits and pieces to do at this particular job, to be honest. They've got quite an extensive list of repairs that need doing. So we're here today. I'm here just to survey it and just double check everything's okay, give the lines a pre-clean, and then tomorrow, and we're going to do a standalone video tomorrow, we have got Ben from Blue House Drainage. He's coming over to give us a hand because there is some robotic cutting and some lining that needs to be done at this particular job. We haven't showed you guys any lining or robotic cutting. Here's something we use when drainage goes wrong. Not that we've done it on this particular one, but I know there's a fouled liner at the very front of this project. So there's a fair few bit to do here. I'm going to be here the most of the morning surveying all the lines. I'm going to pre-clean them ready for tomorrow so that any repair work can just go ahead and we ain't got to faff about. And then say Ben will come and help us cut that piece out the front, and then that will need to be repaired. So yeah, lots on this particular job. Recommendation of a associate of mine who's actually here today, which is nice to see. Wayne from Medway Plumbing. Recommendation, so shout out to Wayne. And yeah, so busy morning this morning. We did have to move things around slightly, to be honest. Ben was meant to be here today, but something's come up, so he can't make it today. So we've sort of shifted it around. We were going to both be here simultaneously over both days, but that's not going to happen now. Something's come up. He needs to get a piece of kit repaired, which does happen. I know that. So yeah, I've already surveyed up the top behind me there. Done that one already. I'm in a foul manhole here, which seems to connect to a buried manhole up there, which is part of our works to remove. So yeah, a couple of days work here. Interesting project. Nice guy, nice customer. So let's get going and get them free flowing. So one thing we are conscious of at this particular site, it does seem to have had some repair work done previously. So there's obviously a fouled liner in the line down there, and I'll turn you guys around. You can see by this piece at the top here, this is obviously a liner as well that's in this particular line. So it's obviously had issues in the past, so we're just mindful of that, and just noting all them on the reports as we go along and do them for the customer, just so they're aware of any existing bits and pieces that have been done already. And I say there's a few other bits that we've got to do on top of this, like some cracks in the line going up that way behind me. So yeah, a few bits here, and so we're going to do a standalone video about that tomorrow. So let's continue surveying and see what else we can find. So we have just finished over in Godstone, surveyed all the lines, so that's that sorted, and then as I mentioned earlier, we are back there tomorrow for some of the serious work, some of the big stuff. So we've got some mechanical cutting to do, which is always interesting to watch. Although I don't know, it's not saying we had that kit, it's quite expensive, so that's why we've got Ben at Blue House joining us tomorrow, and Adam's going to be joining us, and we're going to do a standalone piece there. New customer there, really nice bloke. So yeah, recommendation from a colleague of ours. So hopefully we'll do some more work with this company. They seem to do a lot of schools and things like that, which is good. So yeah, we're going to do a full report after, just so the customer is happy with everything, and then he can give that back to the customer, his customer, knowing there's no issues, and if there is any issues, he knows he can give us a call and we'll come back and rectify it for him. So yeah, so that's that one all finished. I am heading back over to Kent now, where I have a small survey to do. Another friend of mine has called me today. He has also got a plumbing company, and he needs a camera put up a line, so I'm going to head over and do that now for him. So yeah, journey back to Kent. Let's go. Just had a quick call out from a customer that's relatively local to the office, to be honest. I come here the other week. They were saying that the sink was gurgling, backing up. When I got here, there seemed to be nothing wrong. Checked the sink, I spent a good 40 minutes here. She said it's back again, so I didn't have the camera on board last time to survey the line, but today I do, so I'm going to just come here, just quickly put a camera up there and see if we can see anything for the customer, and then we'll head over and meet my friend, as I mentioned on my outro, from Godstone. So I've just got here, so yeah, we'll quickly get the camera out and we'll have a nosy. So the job we were just at, I need to go back to. I need a slightly smaller camera. There's obviously a blockage in the line somewhere. It's in the kitchen lines, which are obviously generally smaller pipes than your standard 4-inch drainage pipes. So I need a smaller camera that can get round the bends. We've got one, and I just need to bring it with me tomorrow. So I'll head back there tomorrow. It's not causing anyone any problems. It's just a bit of an inconvenience. There's a gurgling noise when the washing machine empties, which says just more of an inconvenience than anything else. So I have just got back over to Rochester. I have a job at Rochester Castle now, so I'm just waiting. Well, who'll be this? Don't know. We're just waiting for our client to get here, and then we'll get the camera out and survey it. So we've just finished that one. Took us around an hour and 20. What we have is in Rochester, there's a Christmas market that goes on just by Rochester Castle. At the weekend they had sewage coming back up out of one of their manholes. We've come and cameraed the line, and there was like it looks like a piece of roof tile, to be honest, clay pipe work that's in, blocking the line. I'll get Adam to chuck some pictures on the screen here. So yeah, we cleared that by jetted it back to us and took it out the manhole. There is also a slight step, looks like it's had a repair before, but there's quite a bit of displacement in one of the lines, so we're going to give the customer a price to fix that displacement, so that it's not such a sharp step. It's literally, there's probably about 15, 20 mil on there, so that's not great really. That's going to cause tissue, etc., to hit that brick, like the clay part, and then that's what causes blockages, and they just can't afford to have blockages at this particular site because it is a very public facing site. So yeah, 3 jobs done today. That wraps up today. We've got a standalone video tomorrow. We're back at the job you see me at this morning. for some lining, interesting work, so we're going to do a standalone piece down there. So yeah, nice day overall. That wraps up Monday. Catch you guys in the morning. Tuesday, we are back in Godstone. This is more Croydon really, isn't it, than Godstone? It's a bit further through, but between Godstone and Croydon. I was at this job yesterday, you see me guys do it. We surveyed all the lines just to make sure it was okay, ready for today. It is ready for today. Ben from Blue House Drainage is just on his way because he went to the wrong place. So when he gets here, we'll have a wander around together. I'll tell him what I see yesterday, and then we'll get started with some of the works. I think there's about 7 or 8 repairs that need to be done on this particular job. So Ben will be here. The reason Ben's here is he has the cutting machine that we need to get the fouled liner out. He also uses blue light technology, which is a much quicker and superior way to repair drains because it's pretty much instantaneous. So he's going to help us on this job because otherwise if we patch it, it'd take us a month for Sundays to get it all done. So it'd be nice and quick. Be here all day today. Getting this one finished is quite a chunky piece of work. So yeah, should be an interesting day. You know, hopefully we'll see 1, the cutting machine, and 2, the blue light technology. So we'll wait for Ben to get here and then we will get started for the day. Plenty of liners. Yeah. One of them, you can see where that. And then it literally goes down there. So Ben has just joined us. Eventually, he's running a little bit late, but we'll let him off. So we're just going through the list of works that has been proposed. To be honest with you, the other contractor, the list they gave, it was about 4 pages long. And I come here yesterday and I don't think it needs half of that amount of work. So, you know, you're going to get cowboys in every industry. So we're just going through, surveying it all again, making sure that the work we're doing needs to be done. And yeah, then we'll get started on it. So. Standard measuring tool. 1 metre, 2 metre, 3 metre. So we're now just got all the kit out. We're just about to start robotic cutting out this fouled liner. It was a bit of a pain to get to be honest. We've had to empty some water out with a wet pickup, which is not ideal. We would have had a tanker really, but one of those things. Got it done eventually. It just took a little bit longer. So we're going to cut this out. Then we've got to reline up to this rainwater gully, and then we've got a couple of patches to do, and then they will be good to go here. And then what we'll do, when they get closer to completion, we'll come back and probably do a report for them, so they can hand it back over to the customer knowing that everything's done. So yeah, we're getting there slowly, a bit longer than we would have hoped, but that's drainage for you. So let's put all this away. Ben and Steve are getting the robotic cutter ready, and then we'll get the good stuff out and get going. So what Ben and Stephen are doing behind us, the previous contractor that was here, this is how the client found this particular site. They've got a calibration hose stuck in the drain line. So what they do is they push a liner in, and then the calibration hose is effectively a big balloon that goes through that liner that inflates it to the circumference of the pipe. Sometimes when you pull them back, they can sort of invert and they get caught on themselves. So I have had it done before, and it is a pain. So what they've done is they've got it stuck, they've cut it off, left it in the drain line, and you can see by the scarring behind me on the floor that they've just connected that manhole basically into this one to try and avoid what we're doing here. So we're just effectively we're trying to cut it out. But one, we don't know how long the calibration hose is. It could be meters long. So it's it's just one of those things we'll just have to keep on with and just reassess the situation as we go along. So. Just put a rod down there or? Not worth it yet.
Yep. Got onto it. Alright mate, take right up with it, yeah.
We got a big one!
Yeah, I know. You got it. Got it away from the pipe now.
Lucky I'll work out.
Go real slow. Real slow, real slow. It's like literally catching a fucking fish. When it comes to this bit, just put it into the trap and I'll fish it out.
Got it, haven't we?
Yeah. Isn't that much?
Hey!
Twist the rock fucking air though. Yeah, you're right, round and out. That's it. We're on that.
We see that, can't we? I've gone behind it now, haven't I? That's right on it. You know it's going to fly out and we're going to fucking fall over.
Probably the best part of the video. Game over. This is where it fucking comes off and you fucking fly.
Ready? Oh, you ain't getting that. Is it coming?
Only a little bit.
Oh,
tore it off, haven't we?
All that for that.
Spit again. Looks like it's going to come off
Yeah, it's a good one.
Going like that, I think essentially twisting it like how we want to be twisting it.
Pull. We're not having much luck. That's probably the quickest way to sum it up, I'd say. We're going to have to reevaluate how we're going to get this it's not a liner, the leader hose out. We're going to do some other bits that we need to get done, but it's just spending too much time there. It's taking a little bit longer, and sometimes that's how it falls. That's how the land lies with drainage. You can look at something on the surface, but you can't see what's beyond that. I mean, so it's a lot longer than we thought. You're then working at a lot of distance, so everything's a bit, a little bit more technical and harder. So we'll have to get some different machinery here. It's probably going to need another visit. But what we're going to do, we've got some lining to do and a couple of patches to chuck in. So we're going to do that, get that done for the rest of the day, and then we will go away, me and Ben, and we'll think of a solution how we're going to get this out. Sometimes the job's easy, sometimes it's a little bit more technical, and today's one of those days. So we'll jet the liner, we'll get this blue light liner in, which will be interesting for you guys to see how that's done. And then yeah, we'll think of a plan, but we never give up.
You don't get much better than that, are you?
Right, we're done. We've done a liner, which is fine. That's one of the remedial works. We're gonna have to come back here Friday, get that rest of that packer hose up, and then we've got a couple of other patches to do, and then that wrap up here. I was hoping to get it done in a day, but sometimes the cards don't fall your way. So I say we'll be back here Friday to get that done. I won't be here. I'm going to leave Ben and Stephen to it. So yeah, long day today. I was meant to have some drainage on tomorrow, but I'll see how it goes. I might have a catch up on some paperwork, but obviously I'll take you guys with me. So that's going to wrap up Tuesday. See you in the morning. Good morning, team. I've been sleeping well the last few weeks. Don't know what it is, but I feel a bit tired today. It was a long day yesterday, but hey, we don't quit and we go again. I am down, where am I? I am in Deangate Ridge, which is golf course near Who in Kent. A client of mine called me yesterday. They'd come down because the toilets were backing up. I've got here, there's a pump set, which you can see. I'll spin you lot around. Pump set, but as you can see, it is overflowing. The pumps are not working, so we have a problem somewhere. Now, looking at the unit, I don't think there's any power to it. Look, you see here, turn that, there's no power, power's on. So I am going to do some basic checks because I have a basic knowledge of pumps, but I am not a pump engineer. But luckily we do have pump engineers within our company. So what I'll do some basic checks, then I'll put a call in, and we might have to get one of the boys to come down here because I don't think there's any power going to it, and I'm not a qualified electrician. And most pump engineers generally have a good knowledge of electrics, which is helpful. So yeah, let me have a look. We'll see what we can do, and if not, we'll have to get Tony down there. Oh, well, one job down. Definitely no power to that unit. So what I've done, I've gave our pump guy, Tony and Sean, gave them a call, just explained what's going on, and told them that, and they're going to pop down and have a look at it. Say, I'm not a certified pump engineer. I don't proclaim to be, although I know most things. That's not something I do know, so it's better off to get the professionals down here. They'll get it sorted out. And run customer okayed it with them, so they're happy that that's going on. So they'll come down and get that one sorted out, because as I say, you've got to have a certain amount of electrical knowledge. Sometimes it's simple stuff like the float switches are jammed, or they've got scour on them, or something like that, or it's just tripped out, but something else going on there. So there's no power to that unit at all. So yeah, we'll get Tony and Sean down here, and I'm sure they will give me an update, and I will let you guys know. I'm going to pop to our wholesalers now. I've got to pick up some rat blockers, and then we're going to go and install them. I might have to work tonight or do a job tonight. A friend of mine who we've done some work for before, he called me and said they might need a tanker on the job they're on. So we'll see how that goes. It might be a bit of a long day, which is not ideal, but hey ho, we roll with the punches. So let's go over and pick up these rat walls, and then we'll go and get them installed. We've just arrived down at a supplier in Dartford that actually stocks rat walls. Usually I order them in, but I haven't been organised on this one, so I've had to come down here and buy them. It's a little bit more expensive, but just gets the job done and gets it off the job sheet. So yeah, just got down here, we'll head inside and pick them up. Oh, good. Oh yeah, that's nice and warm. Hello, doggy. Oh, lovely dog, saying hello to me. All right, mate, how's it going? I need 5 110 rat walls, please. So we picked up our rat walls, also bought some number bits while I was there. I thought they were a bit more expensive than they are, so yeah, that was nice, which is good. So we've got 5 rat walls, which are here. This is for a job I've been at previously. We have got to go and put them in. I've got 2 jobs to put some rat walls in today. So we've got 5, 6, 7 rat walls to go in. What is a rat wall? I've got another one up here, look, slightly different brand, but let's get it up. So a rat wall, for those of you that don't know, is one of these things. They're generally made of stainless steel. What they have in the middle here, spin you round, is effectively a flap like that. It looks a bit aggressive, I know, but it's to stop rats. So, and it's a one-directional flap, so feces and anything else can come out this way, so it doesn't affect the flow of your drains. But if you can imagine, if you've got pests and they come out this way, when that drops back down, they can't get back the other way. So it's like a non-return valve, but for Mickey Mouse instead of water and general things like that. So yeah, just aids. If we think we've got pests in a drain line, we'll generally recommend these, recommend them to the customer just as a method to sort of rule that out, especially in areas where there's evidence of rats, which a couple of jobs we had. We've done these a couple of weeks, well, about 3-4 weeks ago probably. So we're going to head down there now, and then I've got to head down to one of our larger contracts. Apparently the car park is flooded that time of year. We say it on the channel all the time, and I'll remind you again, remember, preventative is always better than reactive. So proactive, again, is always better than reactive, because now we have a swimming pool in the car park at one of our sites, not the one we were at the other day. That's just a good example. You can imagine silt, debris, leaves, when they're coming off the trees, they get in the drains, and then when it rains heavy, you're going to know about it. So we're going to head down there, have a look, see what we can do there, and then that will probably wrap up today. I still haven't heard anything where I've got to go in this evening. To be honest with you, hopefully not, but if we do, we do. So yeah, right, let's go to Maidstone. I have just arrived at Kings Hill. I had to take a slight detour down to Folkestone. One of my customers rang me up and said they had a problem, which I went and dealt with, but I left the camera in this van, so I couldn't take you guys along with that. But it was a car park. I had to take the tanker down there. But yeah, it was resolved, and we might have to do some more work there. But I've just got over to Kings Hill, and I've got these rat walls to install. So we're going to jump out and go and put them in the drain and hopefully stop this pest issue. So we've got all 5 installed. They took a little bit of time, but well, especially when they're on a bend, they take a bit of convincing to get in, but they're in now. They're all nice and tight, so hopefully we'll see how this one goes. We'll get the customer to monitor it. That wraps up a busy day today. Again, another busy day, lots of drainage stuff going on this particular week. So we'll see you tomorrow for more drainage. What is happening, Team JCD? What's today? Thursday morning. We are back at a church that we've been to before. We've done a survey here initially for this customer, and there were some roots in the line. So what we've got to do, we're here today, we're going to get them roots out, we're going to resurvey the line, and then we are going to give them a price to do any repairs if it's required. Just got here, I'm a little bit early. Traffic was a bit of a nightmare this morning. I generally drop my daughter at school most mornings. Done that today, but traffic was murder. It took me about an hour and a half to get her to school, which is usually a 15-minute journey. But anyway, so we're here now. I'm just going to get unpacked, get started, and get these roots out. So we've just finished up at the Methodist church. As I say, we come here today to cut out some roots, which we have done. It took me a little bit longer than I would have liked, but with things like this, sometimes, I say, with drainage generally, you never know really how long things are going to take. So we're going to have to book a repair in here because the roots were quite big. I'll show you some of them. So we're taking them out of line. We're going to have to do a repair so that the roots don't come back. Yeah, really nice customer here, to be honest. Actually, I was just having a chat with him. His son is actually a famous children's entertainer who I am more than aware of, as I have 3 children. So that was quite interesting. And he's a very nice guy. So we'll be back here next week to do a repair. I have got a busy day today. I've got another 4 jobs to do. Got some tank emptying to do, and we've got more rat walls to install. So we're going to head back to HQ, get the tank out and go and empty our first tank. So just arrived at the next job. Tankers behind me, as you can see. We've just got to empty a tank that's over there. Shouldn't take us too long. Nice quick job for this one. We've been to this property before. Me and Adam done a survey here, but they've actually started all the building works now, so which is rather interesting. So I get the tanker out, get the hose out, go and empty it. Easy one. So we've just finished at Borders Farm. We are now we're going to go and dump this load, and then we've got to take the tanker to another job in Bromley where we've got to empty some gullies. So we'll go and get rid of this load, then we'll go to the next job. Busy day today, so lots going on, so I'm just going to give you guys a quick update of what's going on, and then we'll get going. So to the next one. We are arrived at the last job of the day. I did go to another job in between this one and the last one, and I'll be honest with you, I actually got the job mixed up with something else. I recognised the name, but I sort of had in my mind I had another job in mind, so I didn't have the right tools, so I'm going to have to go back there tomorrow, but it's just to empty some storm drains. But we're at a job now. We'll turn you guys round. We have got to install 2 rat walls into here, one here and the other one in here. So let's get the tools out and get going. And this will wrap up Thursday. In that way, flat 2. So they are installed. That's all our rat walls done for this week. We have installed 7 rat walls this week. Unusually high number, but it's following obviously spate of surveys that we've done for a pest control company that we work with. So a busy day today. I've got a meeting with my accountant tomorrow to have a look at some of the books for grey water drainage. Got a couple of other bits that I need to run past him. We're actually taking our payroll in-house. Sandeep's going to be doing that from the office. Makes sense, you know, she's got a little bit of capacity there to do that, so we'll bring that in-house. That'll save us a little bit of money, well, quite a bit of money actually. So that's happening. So I'm meeting them at 10. I'll take you guys to that, and then I've got 2 tanks to do. One tank that you see me do earlier, they need another load out of it. That particular job, they've opened one of the entrances right up now, so it's a little bit easier to get in. When we last went there on one of our previous videos, it was so tight to get even our small tanker in there, but they've opened up another end now, but it needs another load because obviously our tanker is of the smallest, well, it is the smallest tanker available. So we'll go and do another load there, and then I've got to go back to a job in Bexley, which I went to today, and I got the wrong job. I don't know why, I just thought it was a small cul-de-sac that needed some rain. I think there was 2 rainwater gullies at the end of it that needed emptying. It was, but as I was on the way there, I realised there was another job, similar job, but there are 6 gully pots to empty, and it needs a tanker on it. So I will run there tomorrow with the tanker, get that done for Doug, who is actually a really nice guy. We're going to be doing that annually there after having a chat with him today. I think he was a little bit upset when I arrived initially without a tanker, but hey, we all make mistakes. So that wraps up Thursday. Busy day tomorrow. Few bits and pieces. I haven't caught up on hardly any emails this week, which has not been fantastic, and I have been off the ball in terms of my training, so I'm going to try and get back on that tonight, although it is nearly 5 o'clock now and I've got to go and pick my daughter up from football. Yeah, I think with the drainage, I think early part of New Year I'm going to look to get someone employed doing this. It's busy enough now, there's plenty going on. As you can see, a lot of my time is being taken up by drainage jobs at the moment, which, you know, the reality of it is you've got to, as much as we would like a bank of work there and we'd get someone else in straight away, it doesn't always pan out like that. And, you know, you've got to be an owner-operator for a little bit, which I have been, as you can see. But it's, you know, it's pretty much there's something gone every day. So I think it's high time we get someone else in, and I'm also going to be recruiting a salesman for JCD next year, because I really want to put the foot down with that and start getting some of these bigger accounts in. We're still in the mix of negotiating 2 large accounts, which is nice. Yeah, it's been an interesting year, and definitely having some of the bigger accounts come in, it's made me realise, right, that's where we really need to focus. And I think to do that, we need to get me and another in the process. So if you know a salesman that is the nuts, when this video goes out, make sure they message me on our social channels, because we are on the lookout. So yeah, interesting day. Wraps up Thursday. Make sure you get an early night, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. We've made it to the end of the week. It's Friday morning. I have just got down to JCD HQ. I've come to change back over into the tanker again, to be honest. I've got to go and do a second load at Borders Farm, which you see us do yesterday. I'm going to go and do that, and then I have also got to go over to another job you see me at, or didn't see me at yesterday. Actually, I didn't film it, but another job where I got the jobs mixed up. So I've got to go back and empty out some gully traps. I'll get Adam to when I've been there, because I'm not going to film the rest of the day. With Fridays, I tend to sort of just do a final thought Friday, we'll call it, where I just wrap up the week, what's going on, unless obviously there's something really crazy going on. But to be honest with you, I've got drainage jobs all day today. So I've got a Borders Farm, which I've just got to go and do. That's just another load, same as what you see me do yesterday. And then I've got to go to Bexley at Bridgend Close, where I've just got to empty some gully pits. They have them done on an annual basis, and I went there yesterday, but I got the jobs mixed up and took the wrong van, so that's on me. And then I have got another job for a new customer. Actually, we're doing some outbound telemarketing campaigns for Greywater. So for those of you that are interested in sort of the business side of things, every now and then I will recruit an external team. I know this lady, Abby, she's very nice. She's worked with us before at JCD, and we buy in a list of data and they'll do some cold calling. We're focusing on maintenance companies, housing associations, things like that, you know, that have large commercial and domestic housing stock, because obviously that's where blockages happen. So we're doing some email marketing. They started that this week. I've actually had a call already from a large care home provider. They've got a couple of leaking pipes externally. So I'll take some pictures there as well, and I'll get Adam to chuck them up on the screen, overlay them on this. So yeah, I'll go in there. I say a busy week with Greywater. We obviously had the repair midweek, which didn't go great, and we are back there next week, Wednesday, with Steve from Blue House Drainage. We're going to use a slightly different machine to try and get that calibration hose out, try and get that out eventually, and finish up a couple of patches we've got to do there. I've got some repair work that needs to go on next week, and I am at a big surveying site where we've done this work for this particular company before. Where we've done the large survey, we had the crawler and things like that. They have got another site that they need us to look at, so we'll be taking the tanker, taking that down there, jetting out some lines, clearing out any rubbish that's in there, and probably doing some surveying while we're down there as well. So yeah, an interesting week. It's really stacked with Greywater at the moment, which is nice. JCD it's not really seasonal. Obviously there's plenty going on, but it seems to be tailing off now. That's not an excuse for then. I see this all the time, and I do agree with people that say this, because it's coming up to December, or we're nearly in Christmas. That's not a time to then go, oh well, I'll just effectively have the rest of the month off. That's not what we do. There's plenty going on. There's always stuff to do. We can catch up on some PPM maintenance work and things like that with JCD. So the boys have got plenty on, but it is a good time to sit back and just take a little bit of stock of what's going on. And in the next couple of weeks, I want to sit down with Adam and get some ideas around some content and what that looks like next year. I up and down with it, to be honest, but at the moment, I think I want to go even harder with some of the content that we've been doing. you know, being at more events. Like Killis, like the team at Killis, they had an event yesterday. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of short notice, but it looked like a good event. You know, get into bits and pieces like that and filming stuff out there. I think that's going to be useful. So yeah, I want to get down with Adam, see what his thoughts are with that, and yeah, get some sort of content strategy ready down for next year. And yeah, salesman, that's on the cards next year, and we're going to get someone on Greywater permanently. That's definitely what's going to happen. So yeah, so I've got loads to do today. One of the jobs is up in near Gatwick Airport, which is never ideal, but a call out fee will be charged for that. So we're still earning while we're on the road, which is the main thing. So yeah, a long day on the drainage. That's going to wrap up Friday and this week, guys. As always, like and subscribe for me. The views seem to be going up, which is fantastic to see. And if there's anything particularly you want to see me to see or discuss, then put it down in the comments below and I will try and answer that for you. Have a fantastic weekend and I will see you guys on Monday.